How about you guys? What do you guys have to ask us? Any
Anybody has
parents
any
are here?
questions? Please feel free to ask.
The hardest thing I think for us at home is a consistent structure, because I know when they go to school, the reason we send them to a Montessori school is that they can kind of go and explore different areas and choose different things to work on. How do we enforce? I mean, it's tough to enforce at home, right? Like at school, you've got all these materials and different things like laid out, pretty well organized. And the structure seems like it's a very difficult thing at home, because we could say, hey, let's go play 10 to 11. But I mean, the reality is sometimes they're like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to go over here and do this. So how do you advise or recommend approaching that?
I would like to say then that's where the partnership comes. You can use some of the strategies that we are using in the classroom, like have an area set up for the children, maybe make a schedule like, okay, Monday, you have certain kind of toys out for them and you make that with your child. So, okay, Monday you have magnets and have some choices and give them that kind of authority as well, where they can choose, because if they choose, there is a greater chance for them to follow it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You have to make them as a partner. As you are saying, we are confined to a limited space. Have a particular children area. I will say make it a little cozy. You have to kind of be a little creative with whatever you have. Have a cozy rug for them, and make it exciting for them. Oh, we're gonna play it here. Maybe add some pillows, add some cushions. So you have to add little things as for them to be excited about that. As you said, let's play 10 to 11. It doesn't work. After 5 minutes, I'm bored now. I'm already done with this toy, right? I'm done with this. So kind of involve them in planning and give them that choice. Like, okay, we have this, this, and this. And we have to be very consistent with them. So if you have that, kind of it goes to consistency. So maybe is that realistic to for them, like for us to expect them to play 1 hour with that? You have to start evaluating yourself also. Like for a 4-year-old, 3-year-old, it's not. So you might have to break that time into different parts. I feel it's easier than if you have, okay, let's play this and this and this, make it a little structured with their input. I guess that works better with playtime, and then have that kind of freedom for them also, and ask them, oh, what would you like to do? And sometimes we, as surprised as we can be, they come up with very good ideas. So you have to kind of be partners there with the children. I hope that works.
Yeah, that's helpful.
There is a big difference between staying home and at school, as you said, not only for the materials for the teachers, but there is a whole structural, system that we have at school. We have a routine. They know that after, the Montessori job time is going to be outside time. After outside time, they're going to have lunch. So just having a routine lessens the anxiety. And, so you don't have that at home, right? Home is much more open. I don't know what's next. One thing that's easy that you can involve your kids at home is daily chores, right? You're gonna do laundry, you're gonna sweep the floor, you're gonna water the plants, If you put them as part of these little activities, they're gonna be very engaged, and they'll be, more motivated to do things, because they're gonna be like, oh, I wanna do that too. And in that way you can keep them engaged, and at the same time, they will have the decision. If they don't want to do it, it's fine, but usually they get involved with these little things. So you have to create opportunities that will enable them to feel like they are in charge, because kids do like to be in charge of their own decisions. It's a little tricky, because if you open that possibility, they may be like, it's too much. I don't know what I want to do. And when you limit that, you want to do this, this, or that, sometimes it may work as well. It depends on the kid, on the day, how they're being, since they woke up, it's a lot of things that you have to take into perspective.
Hello. Most of the time, at least my kid, he would choose screen. Is there anything to break that? I'm sure it's a problem with every parent, but they're facing this problem. But how to avoid, using too much of screen time?
That is very important. Actually, then comes that you are giving them choices to choose from, right? So screen, like I have kids too, I have 2 of them, and if you leave them, that comes always first. And I was one of the parents who had very limited screen time before, only weekends. I was that kind of parent, but in pandemic, it's different. So first you have to give them certain options to choose from, because if the screen option is available, of course, the first choice will be most of the times the screen. There comes the Elise said that when you give them choices, then you give them certain choices. You still give them freedom to choose, but within the limit. What are the other things you guys like to do? I would suggest, it depends on how old is your child also, like cooking. In Montessori, it's like hands-on stuff. And although screen is there, but most of the times, if you have something hands-on, children do choose to do that. So, I mean, what are the options you are giving with, what are the other options than screen? Do you have something set up for them? I would ask if you like a simple window washing activity, or do you have a special wet rag for cleaning the glasses or those kind? It's a bit messy, but that works. All those little, what choices are you giving? So I think to work on the have something within the family, you can have certain choices like some window washing, getting involved with laundries, as Elise said, some baking, some little stuff. And it takes a lot from the parents, honestly. Like I am also exhausted at times because saying things is very easy, but doing things with them, which is like with a prolonged period is not easy. So, but then we have to work. Instead of screen, you can have some audiobooks. Like they are great resources where they have stories and they have a lot of online audiobooks available. Some dramatic play area where you have something to dress up, and you don't have to have all the toys or all the resource available at the same time. Like you have few, keep few for the next week and keep rotating those things. Then they stay interesting, because if you have everything out, children get bored very easily these days because everything is on fingertip.
Thank you. It's helpful.
I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, so we have some questions that we got here from parents now. Should we continue nap routine, which we skipped for weekend in the past? This is a tricky question. You know, some parents are like, oh, depending on the kid's age, right? Of course, you know, if your kid is still, 3 on the earlier side, most likely they're gonna need a nap. And on the later side, they're like, no. So, it's up to you if you're gonna continue during this time with the nap or not, depending on your kid's age. Your kid will tell you by their body, if it needs a rest, they'll tell you. They will show you signs, they'll be playing, you see that they're tired, that they need a nap. So that is already a big guide, for you. Okay, my kid I think my kid needs a nap now, so, I'm gonna continue that. If your kid is active, not need a nap, I don't think there is any need to, force a situation just to keep something, a routine that's not even a routine, as I said before, it's a different routine already. So you don't have to establish this routine just because of the routine. How to motivate them wash hands every time when coming back home. The best way to have the kids, do anything, it's really by doing it. Kids really see what you do. So, if you want to establish a routine of, after this, we're going to wash hands with soap, do it yourself and show them. Because, there is the quote, actions speak louder than words. And that's really true. Whenever you want to show them, that the importance of doing that, oh, let's wash our hands, you got to kill the germs. And, oh, this is the way we wash. And, it's by doing. They will watch what you do much more than listen to what you say. So, do that, and it's guaranteed that it's gonna help them to be motivated to wash their hands. What do you think, Richa?
Absolutely. And also there are some books available about washing hands and about, all that. So maybe that will help you. And have a visual of washing hands somewhere. Like with the younger children, visuals help a lot. So if you have a visual, oh, we go outside, when we come back, maybe just have some pictures, like door when you come in, then sing. So like that, if you can make a visual, like print it from clip arts or something like that in order, that helps a lot. having visual works wonder for younger friends. Questions we got about how to keep them motivated doing academic work, I guess during the online classes, and parents said, oh, they cannot be with their kids, they're working at the same time. So how to keep them focused during virtual classes or doing online work? I think that was one of the very good questions, I would say. Would you like to answer that, Elise?
On a screen is much harder than in person. Because distracting can be a very big factor because they're home. They're in the comfort zone setting where if they get distracted for 1 second, they have their toy available right there that they can get. They can run to their room and get a toy that they're thinking about. They can go in the kitchen, talk to mom and dad. So these factors we don't have on an in-person, in a school setting, right? That already is a big challenge and an obstacle. So we have already to compete for the kids' attention in a way we don't have to in a normal setting at school. So we are trying our best to really try to engage. We try to, calling the kids into action so that they try to maintain them with us. But you can create, as we have been doing, right, Richa, science projects, math projects in a way that it's going to capture the attention by having something appealing to them. So if you have a science project with a volcano and something here, the kids most likely will be, engaged in the activity because they think
Definitely.
it's interesting and
something hands-on.
Yeah, hands-on projects are really what we've been doing, especially you guys. I'm more on the Spanish side, but with projects and arts, and we have for the online kids, whoever is a parent on the online class here knows that we have the packages with all the materials that we use simultaneously, the teacher and the kid. So that helps because you're engaged, you're doing something.
Yeah, and some of the tips I can give as a parent too, like there are a few things. If you're learning online, have a designated consistent workspace, have all your supplies ready. If you have a package, which is going to be next day, keep that handy. So maybe make a routine like, okay, tomorrow's everything is ready. And that also gives them have a visual schedule, clear out the toys from the learning area, and then talk to your child. And we have to be consistent that, okay, this is the time where toys are away and this is the time to be in the class. Like we have to be consistent. It's not that one day it is allowed and another day it's not allowed. It cannot work like that. So if it's not there, toys are after the class, and we do talk to them, and most of the children, they comply. And like from this side of screen, that's how much we can do. If you have a lot of things that distract the children, get rid of them beforehand. And yeah, and we have to remember, these are 3 years old, 4 years old. And do we have realistic expectations from them? Like it's hard for them. There is not much peer interaction. It's like one person keeps talking, they lose interest. But at the same time, even if we think they're not learning, they're absorbing a lot by hearing, and there is a lot of indirect learning going on, which we don't think it's going on, but actually it's going on. Same with the classroom. We have mixed age group, right? So it might not be direct learning, but children absorb a lot by even simply listening. Just have a workspace and have routine set up, and sometimes nothing works. So you have to let go a little bit too.
Yeah, that's true.
I think one thing that I really care about is when at school, they have a lot of peers to socialize with. And now, given that it's in class, so even though they are still seeing the teachers, like their peers, the other side of the screen, and curious, like what we can do at home as a parent to kind of make up that component, so that because at this age, I think socializing is very important for them in their development. Yeah.
Very true, but that's where the limitation comes, right? This is not the ideal situation. This is something that we are kind of trying to navigate through with the best we can. If you want to set up some virtual play dates with friends, you can contact the admin about it. where they get to share what they make. And by experience, I'm saying, like, my children are there too. Usually when they're doing virtual setup, they just like to share what they have. So they will bring this toy and that thing they made. But that is also very kind of fulfilling for them, because they don't have too many people to talk to or share, or like my son loves to make stuff. So he would like to come now and show you what he made. That's kind of the thing right now. So maybe that will help you a bit with setting up some virtual play dates and all.
Create some stories, you know, get pictures from his friends, from his family members, you know, cousins, you know, brother, sister, and create a little story, you know, make a little book and say, oh, you know, we are doing that. You know, it's, of course, not the same, but it's gonna create in their mind an idea of socialization, as well as if you have any interaction with, you know, husband, mom, dad, you know, your immediate family who are still in touch with, you know, by just interacting with them, the way you pay attention to them, talk to them, it's also an example for the kid of interaction. Of course, not the same, you know, it's, they need, they have the energy and everything, but, you know, because now there is a limitation, a limit, right? We cannot do much soon, hopefully. But, you know, so we have to work with the tools you have in your hand. But, you know, regardless, as Richa pointed out, you know, the age group 3, 4, 5, these kids, they will learn. They will have plenty of opportunity to go and socialize outside. So, you know, don't be too concerned about it. And, you know, now do what you can with the little, as I said, the tool you have. But, you know, don't worry too much about it, because it will be okay.
Yeah,
they will
it
have
shall
plenty
pass.
of opportunities
Yeah, it
to
shall
do
pass.
that.
Like, I know.
Yeah,
This
thank
is
you.
not
I want to
else,
thank
I
you for
guess.
hosting this. I think it's really valuable to understand our role and how to set up play structure. For those of us who are doing the in-person class, what are some of the most valuable things that we could be doing right now during this break to make the reintroduction back into school a little bit more seamless?
Yes, so as Montessori perspective, I would say just, you know, first sit with your child and make a list of the things you guys want to do. Include reading, maybe some board games, some cooking activities with them, and you can have some, you know, those little cozy reading times, because holidays, I think it's the best season for that. Like, and also what is your child interested in? So this is a good time to kind of scaffold on that. And with anything, you can add literacy and math. Suppose you're baking, so you can add measurement in that, add, you know, write the recipe with your child. Oh, what we did first. So what we did first. So have them come up with those logistics. Oh, what do we need? We are going to bake. Mommy is going to write for you. Okay. So what do we need first? We need flour. So, oh, flour, what does it start with? So you can add little math and literacy in everything you do and make it fun for them. I would say this is a good time to do those things. One of the other things I really like is grain sorting with them, with the younger children. Like I just did it this morning. So I mixed peas and the kidney beans, and then I gave them 2 bowls, and they sorted it out. And then I'm like, okay, can you try doing it with your eyes closed? Can you sort those grains with the eyes closed? So you can add those little things. I think this is the perfect time, 2 weeks, to do that with your children. I hope you find it helpful.
Thank you for those activities. Absolutely.
So you are a little concerned about when they return to school in January, right? After all this time home, which is a break in their routine, being at school, 2 weeks home, and then return to school. So how is the kid gonna react? You have our Brightwheel app. You have a lot of pictures of, you know, your kid in our school doing activities with their friends, with the teachers. So, you know, bring them up now and then. Hey, look, this is, you know, Miss, you know, the teacher's name. And this is your friend. What's your friend's name? You know, and trying to keep these memories fresh in his mind. And, oh, you know, soon it's going to be time to go back to school. You're going to see your friends again. You're going to see your teachers. You're going to be doing this and that. Kind of motivate him, you know, to do these things and to talk about it. Bring the good memories, so that when it's time to go back again, you know, the kid is like, oh, okay, you know, it's not like I'm completely off now. I didn't think about it for 2 weeks. Now I have to do it again. So just keep these little memories and showing pictures. I think it will help.
Perfect. Thank you to you both.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there still be some tears, as mother I'm saying, and it goes away. It just, it's part of growing up for them, right? Who doesn't want to be with mommy and daddy?
Oh, of course. Richard, do you have another question there?
Yeah, cleanup. A lot of parents are having problem with cleanup because there are so many toys and all. So maybe they can borrow what we do. We sing a song when it's cleanup time, and maybe have a rug or somewhere like how we have, you know, those IKEA small rugs for them as their play space, which gives them a boundary, and also it's respect from others. Like, oh, I made this Lego, but if it's on the rug, then I would ask my child first that is it okay to clean up? Or they say, no, I want to add to it, then I'll leave it because that's the area for them to work. And sometimes they make those really complicated, beautiful stuff. So, and it doesn't look very messy as well. So maybe, you know, having those little components of cleanup helps as parents.
And, you know, also setting an example by doing it. If you say, clean up your mess, and then you leave a whole mess here, the kid may be like, mixed, you know, signals. I think the most important thing, guys, for all that, I mean, as was spoken here, you know, it's a new situation for all of us. So the key point is not to stress so much about things. You know, if you get so upset for a mess that the kid made or for, you know, this or that, I mean, you have to be you know, taking care of yourself, as was, you know, said before. And, you know, by stressing out so much for little things, it's just going to build up, and then it's going to reach to a point that you may feel like, oh my gosh, you know, and we are in the middle of the pandemic, hopefully almost, you know, like leaning towards the end with the vaccine already working. And, you know, don't be too harsh on yourself, you know, don't be too harsh on your kid. You guys are going through a lot, you know, with all that. So just, you know, be patient, be positive, try to not get these little things, you know, get too much into you, and just, you know, be optimistic. And soon, you know, it's going to be over. And of course, you know, it's going to take time to adjust things here and there. I'm very happy, you know, I'm in person. Having the kids there have made a big difference in our lives. We are very happy to have your kid with us, either online or in person. So thank you very much. As I said again, thank you for the support you've been giving to us, because without you, we wouldn't even be here at this time.
Thank you very much. And all the children who just joined online, they were not with us, but we have formed such strong bonds with them as well. It's like they're part of our day. Like, they are there's so many of them, they are so involved, and I mean, I really like the time. That's like best part of my day when I'm teaching online. It brings so much joy. I'm grateful to have you all.
And thank you so much. It has been a very wonderful like time spending with you guys, and she really enjoyed it.
We're so happy to have her. She's a darling.
So it was a pleasure to have you guys here. Thank you for attending this webinar. We are very happy.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.